Hey, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about a very important issue that was kind of forgotten in this hell of a year, but it's still very important because it is about our planet, or saving our planet, because it is slowly but surely dying. So I hope this doesn't come off as too preachy, but it's a topic that I'm very passionate about and that I feel like everybody should be passionate about, and that's why I have 3 general tips for you today to make this world a better place, and maybe we can help make it survive a bit longer at least. So, disclaimer at the beginning, I'm not perfect whatsoever in any of the things that I will be talking to you about. I will be sharing my experiences with all the topics, and you will see I'm not perfect at all. There's so many things that we can improve on, but every little bit helps, and if everybody just does a tweak or a twist here and changes their everyday lives in just a little bit, I guess it will make a great impact. So let's start with the first tip. The first tip that I have for you is buy second hand or buy used product. If you have seen my last video where I talked about books that I bought, I will link it. I always forget where it is. I think it's there. I'm not sure. I talked about books that I bought, and they were all second-hand books, and they were very cheap. So I bought like 11 books for 40 euros or something like that. So that was a great way for me to A, save some money, and B, save some resources, because every book out there is printed in thousands and tens of thousands and even millions maybe, and you don't always read the books many times. Disclaimer, I like to collect books. This is part of my bookshelf, so when I buy books I won't sell them, but if people just have them lying around and they don't get any value out of this, why not buy them from them and give them a second life? That's the same thing for clothes and stuff alike, but clothes is a big thing as well, because people throw stuff away all the time, and sometimes it's for a good cause, but a lot of the times things will just get shredded or thrown away, burnt, I don't know. And buying stuff secondhand is very good. I am guilty of buying a lot of fast fashion in the past, and sometimes I still do this, I've got to be honest, but I don't really buy that many clothes in general. But when I get some new, lots of them are gifted to me from my girlfriend, and she's very big into second-hand buying on the internet. She sells a lot of stuff, she buys a lot of stuff. I know it's a bit time consuming, I give you that, but you'll save some money in the process, and like I said before, you also save a bit of our planet. So buying secondhand is very good for stuff like books, like clothes. I've bought some CDs in the past. I also feel like it has a certain charm if things are not like factory new. I understand if you get like a new big product and it comes out of the box and nobody has ever touched it before, that's also a nice feeling, but especially with books, I feel like if somebody owned them before, they have a little bit of history. Give me a second. I mean, this book, I showed this in my last video, it's very used. It does not look very good, but I don't really care if it's used. Like I said, it has some kind of charm to it, and you don't very much worry about the product that already is kind of broken or used. I drive a 20-year-old car. It has some scratches and some dents, and it doesn't happen all the time, but when I get like a new dent or a new scratch here and there, I'm like, I don't really care, because it has a lot of them. One more doesn't make a difference. And if you get like a new car, you're always worried about hitting anything or stuff like that, and I'm just like, whatever. It just takes away a bit of stress from your life, a bit of anxiety away, I feel like. So that's my tip number 1. buy secondhand, and let's go on to the next topic. The next topic is avoiding plastic. So you have probably heard of that. Plastic is pure evil. It doesn't go away for millions of years. I'm not sure of the number, don't quote me on that. But there is so much better alternatives to plastic. I know for me it's not possible to get rid of anything plasticky whatsoever. I'm just taking a look at my waste bin right there, and it's full of plastic. There's so much stuff coming in plastic, especially food. You can't really avoid plastic in your everyday life, and that's okay. But if you have the chance between one alternative with plastic and one without, and you choose the one without, it's a step in the right direction. So it's very, very hard to do that, but every little bit helps. There's no really need for plastic that we can avoid. I know, like I said, sometimes you can't, but there's so many opportunities where you can. Some things that I do to avoid plastic in my everyday life: I use a safety razor so I don't have to throw away like those plastic razors all the time. I try to refill things like soaps and shower gels, so you don't have to throw away the whole bottle. You just buy one big refill bottle, which is much better plastic wise in the process. It also saves you money, I think. I also try to reuse plastic bags. They come all the time when we order food for takeout. Now in this crisis this happens, and we like to support the restaurants that we like, so we order takeout and they all come in plastic bags, and we try to reuse them as, I don't know, bags for our waste bins and stuff like that. So there's always an opportunity to reuse stuff or avoid it in general. And the last big topic of this video is mobility, or I don't know, the way that you are moving around from point A to point B. I know this is not applicable to everyone, because if you live in the middle of nowhere, you'll need your car. I get that. And for myself, I still use the car quite often, I feel like. So I have to drive to work with my car because it's like, I don't know, 30 kilometers or something. It's a half-hour drive, so I could drive or ride the bike there, but it would take me an hour or even more, and it's too time consuming for me, and I don't want to get to work all sweaty and like exhausted, so I still use the car for that. But now in the times that we live in, I work from home, not all the time, but most of the time, so it's good to not use the car in the days that I'm working from home. And when I have the opportunity to walk somewhere in like a 30-minute walk or something, I always decide to do that. I try to do my grocery shopping on foot and just carry the stuff. I don't need that much that I need the whole car to carry the stuff around. I like to work. I like to walk a lot. I don't ride the bike. Like I said, not to work, but not anywhere as well, because I own a bike, but it needs some fixes, and I couldn't find the motivation to get those issues fixed. I should, and I will definitely do that in the next spring. Please quote me on that, because I need some motivation to do that. I don't really know when I would use the bike, because most of the distances that I would use the bike for, I just walk now, but I guess there will be opportunities to use the bike as well. Also, there's public transportation. It's not the best time for public transportation. If it's avoidable, you probably should do that, but me personally, I do not like public transportation. It's too public. I don't know. I don't even have like an annual ticket or anything. I used to have one when I was at university, but now I'm not anymore, and I don't really need it. Like I said, walking, I can even walk to the city and do some shopping there if I need to, and if it's a bit longer, I will drive in the city that I live. You can use public transportation. It's not like you're in Berlin or in London where every 2 minutes there's a new subway coming, so it's not that great here. It would be doable, but like I said, I don't even know where I should drive to with public transportation. So those were the 3 topics that I wanted to focus on in this video. All of the things that are sometimes easy, sometimes more difficult to implement in your everyday life. If you can do any of that, please do. It saves money, it makes you feel better, it's healthier in a lot of cases, and ultimately it saves our environment. And yes, those were 3 topics. I think there are like a million more, so if you want to have a part 2 of this video, just let me know down below in the comments. And yeah, there's nothing left for me to say, so goodbye, and I'll see you soon.